All right, so I gave into internal peer pressure. So I did calculate the skew for each of our classes. So I'll just do it up here. You should get pretty close values, right? Depending on whether or not you have all the heights that I have in. So for section 20, section 21, section 22, section 23. So section 20 is my beloved 9:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. class. The skew for you all was roughly 0.3735. Strangely, section 21, this is not the class after my 9:30. This is the 12:30 class. So 12:30 class, you're also beloved, by the way. 0.1798. Section 22 is actually the class that's like 11 o'clock, weirdly. So this is your skew was also beloved. Just want to let you know you're in there as well. 0, 0, well, actually 0, 5, like 3, 7. And my last class of the day, section 23, the anchor, the anchor in my heart. You were negative 0.031, say 9. Right, so most of these skews are around zero-ish. So the most positively skewed section 20, the only negatively skewed is obviously section 23. So what we want to do is say, well, there's a little bit of skew, but how does this matter? What we then need to do is say, well, let's try to take this skew and see what it tells us we need to do. So we have a little bit of a table that helps us understand like how skewed something is. So because something is 0.0537, is that enough skew that I need to do the median instead of the mean? Is 0.3738, is that, or whatever the number that is, I can't even tell what the hell, 5? Is that enough skew for me to say, well, I want to go median instead of mean? So this table kind of helps us out. Anything that Excel gives you between positive and negative zero point 0.5, symmetric. So we basically think about it like this. The value that Excel gives us, if we're between negative a half and positive a half, we kind of think of this as symmetric. So for each of our classes, these are all symmetric. Right, so there's not enough skew here for us to say, let's go with the median instead of using the mean. This is why we can think of average class height instead of median class height. Once you get outside of this range, right, so into the negative 1 to 1/2 an absolute value, this is where we say there's some sort of moderate skew, positive value versus negative. And so if this is like -1 to +1, we say this is moderate skew. Moderate, moderate. Anything that's outside of those ranges, right? So over here in like this, whoa, crazy zone, anything that's less than -1 or greater than +1, this is where we say there's some extreme skew. That's extreme. So if we have extreme skew, we use the median. If we have moderate skew, we use the median. We would use the mean in this range, and anything above that 0.5, we would do the median. So when we think of our classes were, well, symmetric, so we would calculate with the mean. If you looked at like the mean and the median's kind of heights for all of your classes, right? So section 20, right? The mean, the average height was 67.3, the median was like 67, right? Those values are really, really close. Section 23, where there was very little skew, 69.033 was the average, 69 is the average, right? So those values are really close, the mean and the median, when there's like no skew. And so the class heights are symmetric. And as you can see, the mean and the median are pretty close there. For the WNBA data, our skew for that one was, I already forgot, was it on the previous page? 0.243. So WNBA, we'd say is symmetric. We would talk about the average WNBA salary because we have a symmetric distribution, even though it definitely doesn't look like symmetric when we look at that histogram. NBA data, this is extremely, right, because we're less than that -1, negatively skewed. Right, so we would talk about the median NBA salary instead of the average NBA salary. So technical note, right? So you can create some distributions in which it's skewed to the right and the median is greater than the mean, but we will not see those sorts of distributions in this class. You really have to do some crazy stuff for that to happen. All right, so I'm gonna stop this video and then do another one.